How's it going, guys? This is my 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. I've owned it for almost 2 years and over 40,000 miles that I've put on it. And here are 10 things I wish I knew when I first bought the car. So this list is in no particular order, but make sure you stick till the end because the last feature is something that I now can't live without and I use it every single day. So number one on the list of things I wish I knew when I first bought this car is how cheap it is to charge at home versus to get gas at the gas station. I did the math and it's about 10 times cheaper to charge your car at home versus going to get gas. It's about $5 to get a full charge on this car versus about $50 to fill up the tank on an equivalent SUV type vehicle. So the second thing that I wish I had known when I first bought this car is how terrible the charging infrastructure is for non-Tesla vehicles. So props to Elon for his supercharger network. But charging for these cars is absolutely terrible. I've gone on maybe 2-3 road trips and I was like, that's it, no more, because it's so stressful trying to find a charger that's actually working and it's just not worth the headache. The third thing I wish I would have known when I first bought this car is how ridiculously cheap Teslas were gonna get, because with all the crazy price drops and you can still get the $7,500 tax incentive, I don't know if I would have purchased this car today because of how ridiculously cheap Teslas are getting. The number 4 thing I wish I would have known when I bought this car was that insurance is more expensive than a regular gasoline car. Now, even though it's more expensive than a gas car, it's still cheaper than a Tesla, because I was cross-shopping between this, a Model Y, and a Model 3 from Tesla, and the insurance, I don't know why, probably because this is a Ford, which is, a legend car maker brand, versus a Tesla, which is a brand new brand and it's all EVs. But insurance was cheaper on this than it was on either of the Teslas. The fifth thing I wish I would have known when I first bought this car was how little I would actually use it to its maximum potential, meaning how much I would be flooring it. So after the first month, I just drove this like a regular car. I wasn't flooring it like an idiot the whole time like I was during the first month, because I was excited to drive this car with all the crazy instant torque and stuff. So what I mean by that is I'm really glad I didn't get the GT, because really you're not going to be flooring it all the time. It makes you sick, it makes you nauseous, from all the crazy instant torque, even in this car, which is not the GT. So I can only imagine how really little you're going to be doing it, flooring the car. And I don't really track this car or anything like that, and I wouldn't really track the GT, so it's not a big deal. I'm glad I got this one and not the GT. The sixth thing I wish I would have known when I first bought this car, because I would have bought a second one, so that would have been very dangerous, and I actually didn't know until I actually went through with the purchase of this car, was I got 0.9% interest financing on this car. So I am in absolutely no rush to pay this car off. I am just gonna let it ride until I pay it off at its regular monthly payment, because 0.9% interest. Ford financing hooked it up with this car. I know they have incentives all the time. I've seen some people on the Mach-E forum saying they now get 0% financing because Ford is desperate to, offload some of these. But 0.9% interest was an absolute steal. I'm glad I didn't know when I first purchased this car, because I might have 2 Mach-E's in the garage, because at that interest rate, it's just absolutely ridiculous, especially with inflation the way it is now, and interest rates right now are ridiculous as well. So that is something that you definitely want to take advantage of if you're buying one of these cars. The seventh thing I wish I would have known when I first bought this car was the frunk. Okay, so I knew it had a frunk, but what I didn't know is that the frunk is also a cooler. So it even has a little drain hole here, and I've actually used this for a really funny video where I put a bottle of V8, the juice, inside of the frunk here with some ice, because they say the Mach-E isn't a real Mustang because it doesn't have a V8. I'm gonna link the video here, so if you're interested in getting a good laugh, make sure to watch that video. But yeah, the frunk is also a cooler, so very, very interesting. I didn't know that when I first bought the car. The eighth thing that I didn't know when I first bought this car was that maintenance is non-existent. You want to see how many liquids that this car has so that you can top off or change? It's right here. Windshield washer fluid. That's it. Everything else is self-contained. You don't have to do anything else. No oil changes, none of that crazy stuff, which is really cool because maintenance is non-existent. And yeah, I haven't had to do anything on this car other than rotate the tires and put windshield wiper fluid inside of the container there. The ninth thing that I didn't know when I first bought this car was the crazy smoothness and instant torque of an EV versus when you get back into a gasoline car. So like when I get back into my F-150, that's a gas car, it feels like a freaking dinosaur. Like it feels like it is a basically extinct technology from like how clunky and like noisy it is, because this car is absolute butter, like so smooth. And yeah, you really notice it when you get back into a gasoline powered car and you're like, wow, why does this feel so ancient, like this technology, versus the EV? It's butter. It's so smooth, so nice. The 10th and final feature that I wish I would have known when I first purchased this car, and it's something that I now can't live without, which is crazy to think about, but it is such a necessity now because my commute to work is just pure highway, is Blue Cruise. Blue Cruise is so nice because especially when your commute is just straight highway, you just turn on the Blue Cruise and you're hands-free. Like you can relax, especially after a long day of work. Oh my God, Blue Cruise is amazing. I literally use it every single day and I can't imagine living without it now that I have it. So there you guys have it. Those are the 10 things that I didn't know when I first purchased my Mach-E. Now, if you like this video, I have another similar video that I made about 9 hidden quirks and features about the Mach-E. I'll put that video up now. So if you like this one, make sure to click that one because that is a good video. And there's stuff on there that you probably didn't know because I actually didn't know when I first purchased this car either. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I'll see you next time.